First and foremost, Senior picked up some kind of knock the other night. How is he today?
Yeah, he had a scan on Wednesday, so we're waiting to hear back the report of that. We still haven't had it. In fact, it might have been yesterday he had the scan. So we're just awaiting to hear the report. He hasn't trained obviously since the game. It's a bit of a hamstring injury, so we're touch wood that it's not too severe and he's out for a long period. But like I said, we'll just wait until we hear the result.
In between games, has there been any improvement on the injury front, rather than perhaps going through the whole list, sadly?
No, I mean, the boys out at the minute at this present time are all long term anyway. And when I say long term, probably season ending, quite a few of them. The ones who are progressing well are Zane Westbrook. Again, he's building up his fitness really well. Hopefully we have him back maybe at the end of this month or early March, which will be a big plus for us because he's important and integral what we do. John Taylor will have an operation on Thursday of next week. We're hoping it's only going to keep him out for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Although I did say to you the last time I spoke to yourselves that it could have been a scenario like Closey where it'd be 2 or 3 weeks or possibly 2 or 3 months. So we're hoping, having spoken, Dave, the physio here, speaking to John's surgeon, that he's quite happy with his knee. All it is a little bit of floating bone that's in there, and he just needs to remove it. So them type of things won't keep people out for too long, and particularly John jumping at the bit to get back. So what's important for us is to keep him fit up until that operation, and keep him active as much as we can, so that there's not too much wasted time when he does, eventually get back out onto the pitch.
In terms of templates for away performances, save for late equalisers from free kicks, how much was the performance at Salford perhaps how you wanted to be away from home?
Well, I think it ends up being a decent point if we can go and take 3 on Saturday. At the moment, obviously, the moment straight after the game, we felt it was as if we lost. It felt like we lost the game, conceding so late. Although when you put it into perspective, we're playing against a form team in the division, a team that's really strong since Carl. When I say form, they're probably up there in the top 6-7 in terms of the results since Carl Robinson went in there. So it was always going to be a tough challenge, and we knew that the way they played, and I said this before the game, it's certainly not the way Carl Robinson's teams have played over the years. And managing against him, I've played against his teams many times, and but what he has done is found a way with the team that he has and what he's inherited. And when you've got a strength like Matt Smith, then why wouldn't you use it? So it's always going to be tough at Salford. And I felt, particularly second half, we got a grip of the game, created lots of opportunities. First half was, like I say, was even Steven. Again, wasn't really much football played given the way that Salford play, but we got our foot in the ball a bit better in the second half and created some opportunities. But for us, I think it'll end up being a decent enough point if we can take 3 on Saturday.
How'd you go about doing that then? Because form-wise, Grimsby are the opposite to Salford right now.
Yeah, and also in the opposite in terms of how they play. They're very much, since David's gone in there, they're a footballing team. They want to get the ball on the floor, they want to play through the thirds and try and create opportunities. So that's a threat and a danger for them that we have to be wary of. So, like always though, we've sort of tried to focus straight after the Salford game on what we can do and how we can hurt them. But we know that, again, I've managed against David, and his crew teams over the years have always predominantly been really good football teams, and I'm sure he will get that with Grimsby, and you can almost see it in flashes, particularly the game I watched against Accrington, and moments, and lots of moments in the second half against Stockport. So I'm sure he will get there with them, and again, it'll be a tough game.
Big away following, not too many miles between the two clubs, not a great deal of points between the two clubs in the table. having seen you play as well as manage teams, take the impression you'd love to be involved in this one at the weekend as a player.
Oh, look, all the players. It's been really good to see them this morning and yesterday and this morning, smiles on their faces, looking forward to the game, Derby game. We know we're bringing a big support with us. We want to make everybody happy and send them home happy after the game. So that's what we've been gearing up to do ever since that we got on the bus at Salford and headed home. It was again just preparing for the next one, and that's all we've done. And hopefully we can put a plan in place and go there on the front foot and see if we can give our fans a happy Saturday.
It's a great opportunity for breathing space, isn't it, if you win?
Truthfully, Andy, I'm not even looking at that, mate. I wouldn't even look at, like I said, I think I mentioned this to you a week before, or a couple of weeks ago. It's I let other people stare and look at the table. For us, we would just want to focus on the game. We want to make sure that we put a good performance on. We want to build on every game that we're playing on. If I look at the 3 games in merit and what we've just had, in other, like we possibly could have 9 points from those 3 games. The penalties that we should have, that the referees apologised to me after the game, makes the game look reflective and different. At Sutton, the good win against Tranmere, and then if Joe's header just goes in at the far post, or Woody's goal gets chalked onside when it's blatantly onside, or Hack scores one of them chances, we could easily be looking at 9 points, but it's not. It's 5, and like I say, we just got to worry about the next one now, and the next one's Grimsby.
How, given that upturn, if you like, over the course of the past 3 games or so, is it, or some of it's in part down to the fact that the loan signings, the more recent loan signings have come in and hit the ground running?
I think the recruitment has been good. I think that, particularly the January recruits and also the lads that we brought in the summer. I think you see the goals of Joe Ironside. I don't know why I said John there, but Joe Ironside scoring. You see how well Owen Bailey's done. When Jamie Sterry's in the team, how well he's doing. Jack Senior. The list goes on in terms. George Broadbent's been good in games. The list goes on. I think the boys that we've brought in have been good. The lads that we've brought in January have added to that for sure. Matty Craig, Hacks, Tim. I'm obviously disappointed to lose Connor, but there's a lot to like about the signings that we've brought in. So what's important now is just trying to keep that together, moulded together, putting the team on the pitch that can produce what we want of them, and hopefully what we want of them is more results, more wins, and starting to move gradually up the table, but game by game.